Bodhisattvas can become imbued with great discipline. The Blessed One said, Bodhisattvas become imbued with great discipline when equipped with 4 practices. What for? By detached observation of what is perceived by their own minds, by abstention from notions of originating, abiding, and dissolution, by observing the non-existence of external things, and pinpointing their own first-hand realization of ultimate knowledge. Great bodhisattvas equipped with these 4 practices, Mahamati, become imbued with great discipline. How, then, Mahamati, does a great bodhisattva become skilled in detached observation of what is perceived by one's own mind? One observes, this triple world is the contents of my own mind, without soul or belongings, without wishes, not coming or going, fixated in immersion in faulty impressions of conceptual elaboration since beginningless time, bound to the various forms and usages of the triple world, imagined and perceived according to imaginations of body, possession, abode, and way of life. Thus, Mahamati, does a great bodhisattva become skilled in detached observation of what is perceived by one's own mind. How, then, Mahamati, does a great bodhisattva become free of notions of origination, abiding, and dissolution? It means all existences seem like form and life in illusions and dreams, because of the non-existence of self and other and both, they do not originate. Having seen the non-excitation of consciousnesses through perception of the non-existence of external things consistent with their nature as subjective mental content, and the non-cumulative nature of conditions, observing the triple world as arising from believing in mental constructions, with the notion of origination. Having ceased by perception of absence of independent existence with all things inner and outer not being apprehended, by understanding the nature of things as illusion and the like they attain acceptance of things as unoriginated. Established in the 8th stage, by attainment of withdrawal from the dualism of specific nature and selflessness of mind, intellect, cognitive consciousness, and the 5 elements, they acquire the mental body. Mahamati said, why, Blessed One, is it called the mental body? The Blessed One said, it is called mental, Mahamati, because of its mind-like travel with unimpeded speed. Just as the mind, remembering without impediment previously seen objects perceived over many hundreds and thousands of miles, through mountains, walls, rivers, forests, and so on, a body continuously connected to the mind proceeds on an unimpeded course, in the same way, Mahamati, by illusion-like concentration attained together with the mental body, just so the intellect born in association with ultimate attainment, in which the characteristics of the powers, masteries, and superknowledges have blossomed, proceeds unimpeded on its course, remembering objects of past vows for the sake of developing people to complete maturity. Thus, Mahamati, does a great bodhisattva become free from notions of origination, abiding, and dissolution. How, then, Mahamati, does a great bodhisattva become skilled in observing the non-existence of external things? It means all things are like mirages, dreams, optical illusions. Observing that the identities attributed to all things are founded on immersion in wrong impressions of imagination variously developed from projection of conceptual fictions since beginningless time, one seeks the domain of first-hand attainment of ultimate knowledge. Equipped with these 4 practices, Mahamati, great bodhisattvas become imbued with great discipline. You should work on this, Mahamati. Then Mahamati also petitioned the Blessed One, let the Blessed One teach me the defining of all things by causes and conditions, by knowledge of which definition by causes and conditions I and other great bodhisattvas, free from imaginations based on notions of reality and unreality, may not imagine all becoming as gradual or occurring at once. The Blessed One said, the definition of cause of dependent origination of all things, Mahamati, is of 2 kinds, namely external and internal. As for external dependent origination, Mahamati, a jug originates from conditions including a mass of clay, a stick and wheel, water, a person, and effort. And as a jug comes from a mass of clay, Mahamati, so does cloth from fiber, mats from fragrant grasses, sprouts from seed, and fresh butter from a combination of human efforts such as churning. In this way, Mahamati, external dependent origination is evident in succession. As for internal dependent origination, this means that phenomena beginning with ignorance, craving, and action get the name dependent. Origination. The phenomena that thereby occur as the clusters, elements, and media get the name dependent origination. And they are not distinct, but are distinguished by the unsophisticated. As for cause, Mahamati, it is of 6 kinds, namely the cause of future becoming, the cause of binding, the cause of definition, the cause of motivation, the cause of expression, and the cause of indifference. Now, then, Mahamati, the cause of future becoming performs the function of cause in the internal and external occurrence of phenomena. The cause of binding, Mahamati, performs the function of supporting the internal and external occurrence of the seeds of the clusters and so on. The cause of definition, Mahamati, produces referential association of description to activity without interruption. The cause of motivation performs the function of domination, like a law-giving monarch. The cause of expression performs the function of revealing the characteristics of present imagined things, as a lamp does to forms. The cause of indifference performs the function of cutting off attached activities at the time of withdrawal, when no imagination occurs. These, Mahamati, construed by subjective imagination by immature ordinary people, do not take place successively or happen at once. Why is that? If they occurred all at once, there would be no distinction between an effect and a cause, as the definition of cause could not apply. But then if they occurred successively, because what is not apprehended is by nature a definition, gradual succession wouldn't proceed, like the word father for someone who has no children, Mahamati, the binding connections of successive occurrence do not come together. Because the causal, supporting, continuous, and dominant conditions and so on of logicians function as both produced and producer, they do not occur successively. Because they are defined in the context of imagined nature, they do not occur all at once. Because of being body, possession, and abode perceived subjectively, without the presence of external things. With particular or common characteristics, they do not occur gradually or all at once, apart from consciousness that takes place through imagining of a diversity of subjective mental objects. Therefore, Mahamati, you should be free from notions of succession and simultaneity defining the combination of functions of causes and conditions. Hence it is said that nothing occurs in this world by conditions, nor passes away, conditions are imagined occurring and passing away. The affliction of dissolution and origination of conditions is not stopped, where the immature imagine based on convictions, that is to be stopped. There is no becoming in the conditions of phenomena that don't really exist, wherefore thought confused by impressions is known in the triple world. Nothing that doesn't exist is produced by conditions, or passes away. When people see what is created as like the son of a barren woman or a flower in the sky, then, having seen grasper and grasped as confusion, it stops. There is nothing to be produced, nothing that has come about, and no conditions either. Whatever is recognized by anyone is known as convention. Then Mahamati, the great bodhisattva, also said to the Blessed One, "Let the Blessed One instruct me in the cycle of teaching called heart of description of distinction in speech, by which heart of description of distinction in speech, made certain by correct analysis, I and other bodhisattvas, having understood the 2 meanings of speech and what is spoken of, quickly realizing supreme perfect enlightenment, may clarify to all people the point of the 2 meanings of speech and what is spoken of." The Blessed One said, "Then listen, Mahamati, and take it to heart, accurately and aptly, I will tell you." "Good, Blessed One," said Mahamati, and listened to the Blessed One. The Blessed One told him, there are 4 different kinds of speech: descriptive speech, dream talk, talk immersed in degrading imagination, and talk of beginningless imagination. Now, then, Mahamati, descriptive speech comes from immersion in forms and features of one's own imagination. Dream talk, Mahamati, comes from memory of objects perceived in the past, and the absence of objects of waking awareness. Talk immersed in degrading imagination, Mahamati, evolves from memory of deeds done in the past by enemies. Talk of beginningless imagination, Mahamati, comes from worthless self-seeding impressions from immersion in conceptual elaboration since beginningless time. This, Mahamati, is the answer to the 4 kinds of distinction in speech I mentioned. Then Mahamati, the great bodhisattva, further asked the Blessed One the meaning of this. Let the Blessed One also indicate to me the range of expression of verbal contrivance, where, whence, why, and how, Blessed One, does human's contrivance of verbal representation take place? The Blessed One said, speech arises from a combination of the head, chest, nose, throat, palate, lips, tongue, and teeth, coming forth accordingly. Mahamati said, then, Blessed One, is speech different from imagination, or not different? The Blessed One said, speech is neither different from imagination and are not different. Why is that? Verbalized imagination comes from description of the occurrence of its reason. If speech were different from imagination, it would be caused without mental construction, yet if it were not different, speech would not be made as expression of meaning, but it does that. Therefore they are neither different nor not different. Mahamati also said, is ultimate truth then a statement as such, or is ultimate truth what is expressed by a statement? The Blessed One said, ultimate truth is not a statement, nor is ultimate truth what is expressed by a statement. Why is that? A statement of ultimate truth as a verbal introduction to the spiritual bliss of ultimate truth is not ultimate truth. Ultimate truth, Mahamati, is to be attained first-hand. By ultimate knowledge, it is not within range of the intelligence of verbalization and imagination. Therefore imagination does not reveal ultimate truth. Speech, moreover, Mahamati, occurs and disappears, is momentary, arising from reciprocal conditions and causes. And whatever arises from reciprocal conditions and causes, Mahamati, does not reveal ultimate truth. Because there is no defining self and other, Mahamati, it does not produce external appearances. Furthermore, Mahamati, consistent with content of subjective mental objects, because of the lack of external existence of various different descriptions, verbal imaging does not imagine ultimate truth. Therefore, Mahamati, you should become detached from the various constructions of speech. So it is said, all things are void of inherent existence, so even a statement of truth is not true. The immature, not seeing the meaning of the emptiness, run away. The identities of all things, and human speech as well, are imagination. And that does not exist. Nirvana is like a dream. Being is not proved either in mundane life or by withdrawal. As an eminent king has his children play with various animals made of clay, in order to interest them. Then after that will give them real animals. So do I, by means of various descriptive images of things. Tell successors the limit of existence is to be known first-hand. Then Mahamati, the great bodhisattva, said to the Blessed One, let the Blessed One indicate to me the characteristics of all things apart from nothingness and being, oneness and otherness, both and neither, neither existing nor not existing, neither permanent nor impermanent, not attained or practiced by any dogmatists, accessed by first hand. Ultimate knowledge, without the imposition of imagined characteristics, peculiar or common, the manifestation of the actuality of ultimate truth, marked by progressive purification through investigation of the stages, defining entry into the stage of those who reach reality, effortlessly carrying out past vows in endless forms like a wish-fulfilling gem, manifesting distinction of ways in the range of subjective mental objects, such that I and other great bodhisattvas without views of peculiarity or commonality of imagined natures in